Hello, everyone. I am Engelbert Humperdinck.
And I'm Kieran Thornton. Who listens to that anyway?
That's the best you can do?
That's the best I can do. Sorry. Although that is the show that you and Terry hooked up at.
It sounds so high schoolish, but yes, that's kind of true.
Yes, it does. That's a story for another day how that all came to happen.
Engelbert Humperdinck is for the lovers. Any of you lovers out there? Put a little Engelbert Humperdinck. Right as rain. You're freezing a little bit. I don't know if it's you. I guess I was going to say I don't know if it's Kieran or me. Since he got booted out of the studio, I'm going to assume it is his internet feed. Lousy internet. He got these microphones. They stopped working after 4 weeks. I don't know what's going on with that guy, but welcome to Triple Double Trouble. He's back.
Little hiccup there. I clicked on the wrong window, of course.
What a surprise.
Man, the touchscreen computers are great till you hit the wrong button.
Well, welcome back. And let's talk a little bit. We did this show on Thursday, and the players came out and supported the wager. You're a warrior. I needed to take 2 days off because Del Mar still made my brain all mush. But you kept playing the last 2 days. What's going on? What's it been like? Are the pools being supported? Are we sitting into the wind here? What's going on?
I was actually pulling it up. Let me go without closing my window out. So the first day when we did the show, they did almost 130,000. So they were up 25% over last year.
Wow. All right.
And then the double, because what these tracks need to realize as well, and I kind of tweeted about it too, is if it's a really tough sequence like today is, and you get knocked out of the low takeout pick 3, you're going to fire away at the double. And, we saw that on Thursday. Their double went up 35% because we actually all got knocked out and then we were hammering away at the double to get our money back. Then on Friday, their pool was up 95%, Frank. The pick 3 pool was up 95%, if you can believe that. So, I mean,
DTL Crew,
serious money. I mean, that was a huge jump over last year for them.
And Churchill has a $1 double, right?
Yes. And the double did not adjust at all. So it was just a $1 compared to $1. But, we got knocked out of the pick 3 last week and we fired away at the double trying to get back. So, I mean, that's how you tell them, hey, well, if you're not going to do the double, at least do a low takeout pick 3 because we're probably going to play both of them.
Right, exactly. That's kind of smart, actually. I mean, I wish they did have the $5 late double as well with the low takeout, but maybe that's something they'll gravitate toward. And, we've championed this cause since Del Mar ran it. Santa Anita started it. It was kind of under the radar kind of thing, I guess they were just testing the waters. They had some success, so Del Mar picked it up. They crushed it, thanks to Kieran being such a good handicapper. And now here we are at Churchill. So you said this is a tough sequence. I kind of agree. I'm skinny in the middle leg, and I'm spready in the first and last leg. So why don't we start talking about how we're going to play this thing? There's 18 minutes to post. I'm going to put this up.
Yeah. And I have to adjust my middle leg because it was a couple of scratches.
Yeah, well, we'll deal with that. That's no problem. Kieran gets me his stuff very early in the day when I'm still asleep. And then
I will say one of the interesting stats for this race, it's been run 14 times. 13 of the winners were under 5-1. So
really, so it's a chalky thing. I'm glad you said that actually, because my original ticket was not using the 6. I was trying to beat the 6. That was my thing.
And I kind of agreed too.
But then I decided to use the 6, though.
Yeah, I mean, I was the same. I was like, one last out, trainer's 22%, top last race speed. But the horse is 1 win in 3 seconds from 4 races here. So, and the trainer's only 7% going up in class. And I mean, I was trying to find a way to beat. But I mean, the only other one was the number 4, Big Boat, drops in class, 3rd off the layoff. trainer's going sprint, and he's off to a good, I mean, if I was forced to single the favorite in this race, I think I would add the number 4, as my single. If you said, Kieran, you got to pick a single, 4 would be my single. They're adding Lasix today, and we talked about it on the last show that when I see horses adding laces, I go back and look and see how they did. And the only win this horse had was 2 back when it was on Lasix. So at least this is one of those times where you pay attention to Lasix.
Well, here's something that's interesting, Kieran. The 4 is actually the favorite in the $2 double that pays off in this leg.
Okay.
So the 4 is paying $24. The 6, who is the favorite in the win pool here, is paying $25. I mean, they're only $1 separated, less than $1. So they're kind of, equal payouts in the double pool. But if you look at the win pool, Big Boat is 5-1 and Kalahari Dreams is 6-5.
What's the number 1 paying? Number 1 is my sneaky long shot in this race.
Yeah, the number 1 is kind of dead in the double, 191, but they're not always right.
This is a Jacobson horse, and he owns it. Going up in class, protected. 1 last out, 2nd off the layoff, on the rail. His jockey is on, Torres. They're winning about 43%. The horse has a nose for the wire. And my note here was, even though it's a long shot or a favorites race, this horse may not win, but he has a nose for the wire. So that's absolutely one of those horses you use on exotics, you know what I mean? Exactas and tries underneath, and maybe he'll sneak out the win. And my note here was, over the last year, when this jockey and trainer team up, they're in the money 70%. And the last race was the best race this horse had in its career. And this is a race of like droppers and I was thinking, you know what? Maybe, the light bulb went off on this horse and might continue getting better versus some of these others just trying to find a level.
Well, before I put my picks up, Kieran, let's adjust your play because you said there were some scratches. I don't want to talk about the 2nd and 3rd leg just yet, but let's fix your bet so we have it ready.
So it's 1-4-6.
Hold on, let me get to the edit function. 1-4-6 with
5-6-7.
So the 3 is now out, and the 7 is in, and then the last leg is 2-3-5-7.
Yep.
So here we go. Kieran's amended bet, just adding.
I think it's $108 now, I believe.
Well, 3 times 3 is 9 times 4 is what, 36 times 3? Yeah, let's change the total. What is the total?
108.
All right, let's change that. We don't want to put
out. I thought
any...
about playing around today and doing like kind of what I did with the doubles, like a really small. And when I started doing all these different bets, I was like, you know what? I'll just spread them all. This is a tough sequence, I thought.
All right, so here you are. You're 1-4-6 in leg 1. I did not like your one. I don't know how good that Ariana Grande race is, but I was originally 2-4-5-8 because I wanted to beat the 6, but then I was looking at the double pools going in, so I threw in the 6. I probably should be playing a separate pick 3 with the 6 on its own because he's taking so much money in the win pool. But for the purposes of this wager, I am 2-4-5-6-8, and you have 2 of the ones I have, but not the others.
Yeah, and I thought about doing a low end ticket where I just would have done 4-1 with 5-6 with number 5 in the last, Golden Irish. Of course, I'm going to bet Golden Irish. Come on, come on.
Everybody thought I said, "Oh man, can someone give me odds on who Kieran's going to have in the last leg?" Well, let's talk about the middle leg for a second because we are totally different. Totally different. Well, now that you're doing 7, we're kind of the same, but
number 5, Necessity, IRAD. I mean, pretty much when I'm writing my notes, if I just see IRAD on, it usually is an upgrade. Add Lasix, and this was another horse. The only time the horse rode with Lasix, it won. And trainer's 32%, 2nd off the layoff. I think this is the money run, and the call got made to IRAD. Here, take it home for us.
I don't disagree. I know the horse has some back classes, has been racing on dirt, but does have those 2 decent races on turf. So this is a horse who can act on any surface. I don't know though. I was lukewarm on that horse. I think that horse is going to take a lot of money based on everything you just said. I'm about the 2 and the 7, and you threw in my 7, but first I want to hear your case on the 6.
The 6, well, so this race, 30 races, 40% of the time it's a long shot, and 20% it's a bomber, like 10-1 or more. So I actually had 2 long shots I liked in here that scratched. The number 3 got scratched, and the number 11, Sexy Blonde, got scratched. So I was like, well, I got to find one. And I was kind of looking at the number 6, She's a Swede, with Hernandez on for McPeak. You know, pretty potent tandem over the years. And only win this horse had was with this jockey. And, you know, that's pretty much it.
I have a mark next to that horse. Actually, I have a mark next to both of your horses, but I decided to go skinny here because I did not have a strong opinion in the last leg, and I feel like turf racing is my, strength, and those were my 2 top picks. You added the 7. Did you have anything on the 2? I mean, I think this 2 looks really good.
I jumped over to. I mean, the 7, I just did it. Blinkers off, 3 starts, 2 seconds, and a win. Trainer does really well on this move. Beaten favorite, blinkers off. The 2, I mean, it's a potent jockey trainer angle, but I just skipped over it. Nothing really jumped out at me.
She's had her chances, but I don't know. I like the 4-year-old against the 3-year-old horses in here. And then the 7, I mean, Brad Cox, those are really fast races. I think Giroux tried to put this horse in the race last time and got caught late. Now the blinkers come off. He can set, Giroux's a very patient jockey. He can get this horse to settle. I actually think this is the horse to beat. I think your horse, the IRAD horse, is the one that's going to take most of the money and go favoritism. But we actually look. Let's see what the doubles are looking like. We have 10 minutes. So right now in the win pool, wow, the number 6 Kieran is 4-5. 4-5, but he's not the overwhelming favorite in the will pay. The 4 is $24 and the 8 is $32. So the 4, 6, the computer guys think it's all about the 4, 6, and 8. Those are the horses. All right, let me go to the probables here just to see who's getting crushed in the next leg. All right, so if you had to say, based on the 6, singling the 6 in the start of the double here, who do you think is the favorite in the next leg? Who's taking the most money? I will tell you, but I'm asking you as an exercise.
I'm thinking it's probably going to be the 7 and then the 5.
Correct. $13 to the 7 and $18 to the 5. Those are the 2 overwhelming favorites in that leg. The next is the 2 at 36 and then the 1 at 44. Neither one of us have the 1. Should we go back and look at this one here?
Sarah's Dream. I looked at it. I have a love-hate relationship with Rosario, so if I don't use him, he's my Rispoli on the East Coast.
I think a lot of people feel the same way, actually. He's one of those guys who, when he's on, he is incredible, but when he's off, it's just not someone you want to bet on. I think maybe that horse is taking money based on the 4-1 morning line, which I thought was a little ridiculous because this horse is coming out of much cheaper races on the synth. So I don't know why that horse is so short in there, but
what prices do you have in the last leg? Because I have a bomber in the last leg.
Well, talk it through and I'll put it up.
Number 5, Golden Irish, I think is absolutely not because of the name, is going to be the favorite in the last leg. Top Power trainers 32% for a profit. Ortiz and this trainer, win almost 40% of the time. And if you look at the race replays, that horse just had issues at the start each time. So clean break. And I think the 4 or the 5 Golden Irish probably smokes him. But this is also I have both those. I have the 4 and the 5, Kieran. But it's also I have your bomb on another ticket. I'm sorry, but go ahead. And it's another race. Almost half of the time, the last race is won by long shots, 5-1 or more. And 26% are over 10-1. So, that's why I was saying tough sequence. So my top long shot in that race is Mom's Cheesecake. the number 7.
Right there. Look at. I used that horse as a double. Should I?
Okay.
I didn't want my ticket to be too expensive, so I took the horse out of my pick 3, and I said I'm going to come back and do a saver bet 2-7 because then I'm going to know what they're paid, and I can use your horses going to the 7.
I hope we get 20-1, but we probably that was a career best race for this horse last out. Tops in this race, and the average last 3 races is top in this race. So this is a horse that's kind of moving up and getting better and meets the long shot criteria. And the 7 post wins almost 20% of the time. You know, like sometimes you look at some of those stats, and I've been, especially after what we saw at Del Mar, and it's playing pretty true here at Churchill. So I was like, you know what, that's a few nods there. And then as some backup ones, the number 3, Strahl, Asmussen, second off the claim. He owns the horse, you know, protected, and the son's riding. They've not been as hot as they were last year, but they can pop with some long shots too. And then my other long shot in here, Give Her Another, the number 2 with Gaff riding for Walsh. Won at this distance, 2 back, and came up racing shorter now. So I think that's, let me look at my notes here. Make sure I wrote that
longer,
wrong.
7 furlongs. But this
was shorter last time, and looks like this little bit, the 7 furlongs. 1 at 7 furlongs is what I was trying to write in my notes. 2 back,
right.
Went 6.5 last, missed, back to 7 furlongs.
I have your 2 in my pick 3, and then I also have your 7 in my saver double bet. The thing that I liked about the 7 is it's 7 furlongs, and this horse wants every bit of 7 furlongs. If you look at the running lines, this horse makes up ground in the lane almost every time. So
and career best race
20-1, but the horse will still be a decent price, don't you think?
Oh yeah, and I mean it's one of those things, especially in these kind of tough races, light bulb moments, and horses that are getting better, even if they're not winning, if they're getting better versus these other nags getting dropped multiple classes or looking for their level. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's worth taking a flyer on a price if the horse is looking good on paper.
All right, Karen, let's just see what some of our commentators have. Junior's back, Mr. 11,000. Hello, everyone. Went with a couple of long shots in the first, 2, 6, and 7. Are they on any of our tickets here? I have the 2 and the 6. I do not have the 7. You do not have the 7 either. Let's take a quick look at the 7. What are we missing?
Let's have a look. See here.
Shan, the Ed Mosier horse. Turf to dirt, maybe. 1 at 75. Non-winners a 1. This is a much tougher level, but, you know, Mosier wins a lot. I'm not going to use, but.
At least had a couple of seconds here. Race, you know, 4 races here, 2 seconds. It wasn't anything that jumped out at me on that one.
Yeah. I mean, if the horse wins, I could go, okay, fine. But, I mean, I don't think he's better than, you know, the other 4 horses that I'm using. But that means I don't have a strong opinion in the race. I don't think either of them. It's pretty competitive.
I thought this was a very tough pick 3, and I can see their double pool being up today when a lot of people get knocked out of this first leg.
Well, here's the thing, Kieran. Either a bunch of people are going to get knocked out, or a bunch of people are going to be alive. Because the win computer players are in love with Kalahari Dreams. That horse is 4 to 5. 4 to 5.
When I went through and looked at this, I was like, all right, I'm going to try and beat this horse, but I couldn't really. And again, if I was to beat it and just take a stand in this race, my stand would be the number 4, Big Boat. And what's he at now? 6 to 1, 4 to 1?
Let's see. Big Boat is 5 to 1. Guns Loaded is 4 to 1. So Big Boat is actually the third. Actually, no. The 8 is 9 to 2. Big Boat is the 4th choice. You know what? I think they're doing some pool manipulation here. I know the money's going to come in on 4 Big Boat because we looked at the will pays, and the 4 is $24. The 4 is the actual favorite in the will pays. So I think there's some sneaky things going on. Let me look at the pick 3. In the pick 3, the 6 is the favorite at $15, and the 4 is the second choice at $18. So they're very, very tight in the wagering, the multi-race wagering, but they're not tight on the board. I have to think that, you know, when the gate's open, we're going to see Big Boat go from 5 to 1 to 2 to 1.
Probably. Would not shock me either.
All right. Well, that's who Junior has in the first leg. We'll talk about his picks, his second and third legs when we get to it. Josh Plummer liked the 8 as a long shot in the middle leg. Okay, well, we'll get to that when that race comes up. But Josh, who are you rooting for here? Do you have our horses? Let us know. Rosario's not on the one in the middle leg. Arietta is aboard. So typical Kieran doesn't get the latest changes and scratches.
It didn't update for me. What can I say?
You know what, Junior? I don't really know this circuit that well. Is that significant, or would you say that's a negative? Let us know. Anyone who plays Churchill on a regular basis, please feel free to chime in and educate us a little bit. Kieran and I are not strictly California circuit, but 90%, we play big days elsewhere. I like what we're doing here as an exercise, Kieran, because it forces me to have zero preconceptions.
Yep.
In California, if you see a trainer that you'd never win with, you don't even look at the horse really. Sometimes you just, get lazy and you get stuck in a pattern. This forces me to go back to old school, fundamental, foundational handicapping. And that's why I'm really glad we're doing it, not to mention supporting, such a great bet.
Yeah, we got to see who's the next track to roll out something big.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that Assiniboia or whatever it's called.
Well, they've been doing it for a long time. They've been doing it for a while, I think.
Yeah, I know. It just, it wasn't really on my radar because I don't pay attention. But Dan H, if you're there, you better chime in because you're going to lose your perfect attendance award. You're the one who actually brought us the information about the low takeout 15%, and I think he said it's a $1 pick four. If that's the case, Kieran, we might have to look at that tomorrow.
Oh, we're off the dirt. Oh, we're off the turf in the second leg as well.
Ooh. Yeah, I see. I mean, I saw the track had moisture in it, but
I saw it too, but I didn't think it was enough.
Yeah, well, let's look. There might be some scratches because I checked the scratches for race 9, and there was only that one scratch.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, I don't like that.
But hardly any scratches. I guess my 2 long shots. I will say that would explain why the 11. I thought 11 was my long shot of the day in the middle leg. My sexy blonde. I was looking forward to betting that horse.
And that horse scratched, you said?
Yeah, but I will say the second leg going on dirt. The IRAD horse races on dirt, so it doesn't. I think it's the money run. It doesn't really change any of these other horses for me, at least. It's not like it's raining cats and dogs there anyway.
No, but it's just, it's unfortunate now because everything changes. I mean, I would upgrade that Norm Cassie horse of yours that you liked. The
even
one
looking live, that just doesn't look like a track with rain. That's strange they took it off.
I'm going to go on record and saying right now, I'm canceling my wager because I am not going to play those horses in the middle leg if it's not a turf race. So I will actually pass on this sequence, Kieran. Is that okay? Do I have permission to pass, cancel? I mean, your 5 is a major upgrade based on all that dirt form. So here's the thing. We both like an 8-1 and a 20-1 morning line in the last race. I'm going to pivot and look at the double because I'm going to have some will pays. I'm going to know who's being bet in the off the turf race. And then we could see if our 7 is a big price. And if he is double, I'm gonna play the double.
And then I'm going to chime in. And I'm going to chime in. This is why I love California racing. Like, we don't have these. I hate handicapping. Like, I know people talk about Bet Saratoga, etc. I hate putting all the work in, and then a storm rolls through, and all your work is down the drain. You know what I mean?
I'm so with you. There are enough variables that we have to deal with in horse racing. I don't want weather to have to be a variable. And, back in the old days, it didn't really matter because people would go to the track, they'd buy the form that day, right? Yep. And they do their work that morning. We do it 2-3 days in advance. So we do all this work, and then you get to the day and you're ready to play your bets, and then it's off the turf. They're off here. Good luck, everybody. There's your sneaky 1 making the lead, Kieran. Big Boat did come into 5-2 as we predicted based on the will pays. Kalahari Dreams is the favorite at 3-2. 21-4 opening fraction. Excuse me.
Come on, one. Knock all these CAWs out.
Yeah, I'm rooting for you, man. I don't think
he's going to get swallowed.
But here comes the 5.
Here comes. No.
Do you have the 5?
No, I do not. So I'm out again. Unbelievable.
I had the 5. Canceled it. 9-2. One easy.
Down goes Foreman.
Again, Kieran.
Yeah, again. Yeah.
I'm telling everybody, Kieran's hot, hot, hot. And now he's ice, ice, baby. Bom, 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 bada, bom, bom. I know I'm going to hit this now. I know I'm going to hit this now because I canceled. Because here's what I had. Here's Frank. And I wanted, I didn't want to use the 6. I didn't want to use the 6 originally. So, but here we go. There's the 5 right there. You're welcome. That being said, I did have half the field. So I won't take too much credit.
We were right thinking the 6 was an overbet favorite. Couldn't even nose out the win, but the 4 was shockingly bad.
Well, the 4 ranged up, made a move, and then just flattened out, The computers were wrong. They hammered the freaking 6 and the 4, and the 5 goes off at a fair price at 9-2. Let's see what the 5 was in the will pays, just to see.
First time Lasix.
So in the will pays, the 5 was the 4th choice. In the double, was paying $43 in the double. So the computers got it wrong. They probably forgot to plug in moisture in the track for their algorithm.
And we missed that horse was first time Lasix as well.
Yeah, that's your.
But I think why I overlooked it was no workouts over the track. I like to see them at least get a spin around the track they're racing at.
Yeah, we got that, Dave. Thanks for letting us know. It just shifted there. 1-5. So you have the 5. Oh no, in the second leg. Anyone on this forum have the 5 here? Let's go. Thank you, Froggy. Here's Junior's comment about Arietta. The one horse in this race coming up with Rosario comes from behind. Arietta's aggressive. He would say it's an upgrade. You know what? I believe it. Jocks have specialties and rained a lot last night. Okay, thanks, Dave. Yeah, it started muddy. We knew that.
And I will say, Frank, that horse, the number 5, Guns Loaded, was first time Lasix, and in this next race, Necessity to number 5, back on Lasix when the only win was Lasix. So maybe we get the Lasix wins today.
That's usually your angle. You're really good with that. Thank you, Junior. Frank, it's always wise to step aside when you handicap for a certain race and it changes. Absolutely. I'm not gonna play my turf horses in a race that's off the turf. Thank you, Josh, for your information. It's been off all day. Rained a lot last night. All that stuff. Is anyone out there alive in this pick 3? Anyone play my bet? And, I canceled it, but if anyone played my bet, you're alive. Let's see if it's official. Let's see what the next leg is looking like. I knew the early races. I just assumed the 9 would stay on because there were no scratches. There was one scratch.
Yeah, that's usually our indication to look a little closer. But I guess going forward, that's something we got to check and make sure of, Frank. That's us. When we see a bunch of scratches in California, we know they've switched the surfers. Plus, we look outside, it's raining.
Yeah, I usually check. I do check, and I had TVG on the whole time. I just assumed the 9 would stay on because it's, the feature race. It's the feature race on the program, and only one horse scratched out of it. Usually, if this was New York, there would have been 5 MTOs, and there would have been, scratches. So that's on us, guys. Our bad. But I did cancel because I'm not going to force myself to play the turf horse on dirt. But let's see what the board looks like here on. I'm going to look at the will pays in the double.
Yeah, time to get out with the double. That's what I'm scrambling now.
The favorite in the double is right now the favorite in the double pool will pay is the 5 at 38, and then the 7 at 47, And in the win pool, the 7 is getting hammered 3-2. The 5 is taking money as well, 2-1. The 1 and the 2 are at their line. Line's pretty good, actually. Except the whoever made the morning line did not value the 7 as much as the computers are. But then again, the morning line maker was, operating based
the
on
5 to the 5 is paying $10. The 7 to the 5 is paying $11.
Wait, going forward?
Yes.
Let me pull that up. What is our 7? What did you say? Our 7. What is our 7?
Number in this current race, number 5 to number 5 in the next race is paying $10, and number 7 in this race to number 5 is paying $11.
Right. I mean, I think those are unplayable combinations, but we like the 7 as a long shot in the last race, right?
In the last race, yes. So the
and that's
5
paying $100.
The 5 to the 7 is paying $488. 5 to the 7 is paying $104.
Right. And then the 7 to the 7 is
7 to the 7 is paying $74.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Yeah.
What is the other one you had? You had that
6.
We both had the 2 as well. What is that? How about the 5 to the 2?
5 to the 2 is paying $36, and 7 to the 2 is paying $29.
I mean, we could play those. Let's see. I want to see. Yeah, the favorite combo, like you said, the 5 is $21. The 5-5 is $21. And then the 11 is the other one who's taking money. The 5-11 combo is $39. I don't think I had the 11. Was the 11 on your ticket?
No.
Well, should we look at it now that it's on the dirt? I think that's
well.
why.
So the 11's on it because the princess factor. IRAD. That's the only reason. I could see no reason to bet it other than IRAD's on it in the last race.
Well, also, I mean, this horse is a dirt horse, right? But
yeah.
I mean, the one win came in a 5-horse field, made the lead on a speed favoring track, and lasted. I don't know. But 7-2, IRAD. Yeah, you're right. And Joe Sharp. I mean, he wins a lot of races at Churchill. So he's a trainer you have to look out for. I don't know. I think I might just keep it simple and play some double combos to our 7 in the last. I mean,
I think what I'm gonna
that horse.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a $25 double, 5 with the 5. So that'll pay me $250 if it chalks out like that, and then I'm gonna do a $5 double. 6-7 with 2-3-5-7. I think that costs. So that's like $65 altogether.
And what's the lowest pay there? Let me see. What do you have in the next leg?
In the next leg, I've got 2-3-5-7.
Okay, so 6-2. These are 2 double pays that I'm looking at, by the way. So just have them. 155. Yeah. The 3 is 194. So yeah, I mean, those aren't too bad. But you are going to play the 5-5 combo, but you're going to whack it?
Yeah, I'm thinking, but I'm looking at the pays again. It would. Let me revisit here. I might. The problem is we're going to get eaten alive by the CAWs now. So that's why we got to, versus before we could see what's going on. How late do they get to gamble into this pool? Do you know?
I don't think Churchill shuts them down. I think they can bet at the last minute. I don't think Churchill has announced that they're out of the win pool or out of the late double pool. Yeah, Dave, it's double time. Let's go. Let us know who you like. Let us know what you're thinking here.
My first bet's gonna be a $20 double, 5 to the 5-7. So that's $40.
Okay, hold on. 5 to the 4-7?
To the 5-7.
Okay, so you're looking at $8 and $100
times.
No, that was $1. Yeah, times 25, right? That's all right. That's good.
And then I'm gonna try and. I can't toss the 7, so. Let me see what the 6, because I'm liking the 6. If there's going to be an upset in here, I thought maybe the 6, the Hernandez horse. So
yeah, the lowest double with the 6 is the 6-5 combo, and that's 117 for $2. So have that.
Okay,
that's not bad.
No,
let me look at this 6 again. I can't believe more horses didn't scratch out of this race. It's crazy. I mean, I guess because there's a short meet and they want to run. This horse ran once on the slop and was beaten 30 lengths. This horse ran at the fairgrounds in an off the turf race and won wire to wire. In a 5-horse field. I mean, like, the horses with dirt form, except for that Cassie horse who ran in the fantasy and has some back class. I mean, I don't trust their dirt form. I don't trust.
All right, Frank. So I've got my bets lined up here. So I got my $20 5 with 5-7. That's going to cost me $40.
Karen, can I ask you to hold on? Because I want to put this on the screen. I want to put this on the screen so we have it. Because we have to pivot, guys. You always have to pivot. So Kieran, okay, $25 double.
No, we're going to do 20. 5 with 5-7.
$20 double. 5 with 5-7. So that's $40 total, right?
Yep.
Okay.
$10 double. 7 with 7.
$10. 7 with 7. So that's just 10. Okay.
And then a $5 double. 6 with 2, 3, 5, 7. So I'm spending $70 altogether if my math is correct.
7. So it's 4 times 5. That's 20. Let's say 40 plus 10, 50 plus, yes, correct, $70. Let me put this on the screen. Let me just make sure. Is that correct, Kieran?
$20 double, 5 with 5-7. Yep. 10, 7 with 7. Yep. And 6 with 2, 3, 5, 7. Yep. So what'll probably end up happening is it'll be 5 with 2, 3.
I'm going to do $10 double. I'm going to use your horses in this leg. 5. No, I'm going to use my 2. I'm going to use your 5. I'm going to use your 7. And I'm just going to play it to the 7. That's it. Keep it simple. So that's $30 for me. That's about what the sequence is worth, in my opinion, based on the changes. I want to be alive to that 7. I mean, I really do. I mean, actually, I could probably also do a $1 all to the 7. Let me see what the lowest payout.
Oh, that would be an interesting way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the favorite home.
Here, well, the lowest payout to the favorite is it's $100. But I mean, the one is like 150. The 2 is the 2 is 125. The 4 is 600. The 5 is 100. The 6 is 250. The 7 is 125. The 8 is 300. The 9 is 400. Yeah, I mean, so you have the favorite in extra time, but I mean, you're looking, if there's a major upset in this, it's off the turf. Anything can happen, Kieran.
Oh, yeah. Please, if you do it, you're just going to make it where the favorite wins for us. So please do.
I'm going to. It's $9. I'm going to do it for $2. I'm all with 7. So if I'm right about this, it's right. How many horses are in this race? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to put it on the screen. I got to put it in. So 9 times 2, $18. I mean, I'm probably way off about the 7 in the next, but you know what? If I'm right, we're both right.
We rarely jump both. You know what I mean? Granted, I sent you my picks earlier, so you're like, "Oh, let me look at this one."
No, I did this. I promise you, Karen, I did it 2 days ago, and then I confirmed again this morning. I came up with the 7 independently of you. I promise you, I wasn't piggybacking.
But we both like it, so when it happens, the horse usually outruns its odds at a minimum. You know what I mean? So it might be something where we do another sneaky bet in that last race.
I just thought the 7 furlong distance would suit this horse. I mean, the form is kind of wretched. The horse had to go break the maiden at Turfway on the scent for 15. But
so this one, Frank,
you're doing 3-year-old.
You're doing all in this race. With who in the next? Oh, the 7. That's right. Okay.
Well, hold on. I got to fix that 18. So my investment is $48.
And the lowest pay you're looking at is $8. $80 on the 5.
Right. But look, I also have a $10 double with the 5.
Yeah.
So I pressed with the horses I like in this leg, and then I went all because this is an off the turf race. You know, the horses with dirt form aren't spectacular. And who knows, maybe one of these turf horses is like, oh, I like this surface. You don't know.
Yep.
But to your point, if Frank's going all, the favorite's going to win by a city block.
And then when you bet those races where it's 6 horses and you do all, and then you go, this 50-1 shot has absolutely no chance, and then that's when it wins, which is why you do all. I actually had that happen to me at Los Al during the summer. I couldn't believe it.
What happened?
I liked 4 horses in a 5-horse race, and usually I would just do all, but the other horse was just so bad.
So bad, yeah.
And then I ended up hitting the pick 5 if I had done all, and it would have cost me, I think, like an $8 more for the ticket. I ended up paying like $600 or $700. I was just like, oh,
I don't know. I'm torn about that because that's happened to me as well. And you know, my good late great friend Jeff Sotman, he would say if you're using half the horses in the race, just go all because you really don't have an opinion. So I don't know about that because it's like I hate these other horses. You know what I mean? Like you thought that horse could not win, so why would you spend money betting that horse? How often is that one horse that you dislike and leave out of your ticket going to win? Maybe one out of 100 times?
I bolded 2 horses for the next race. The number 5 that I thought was as good a favorite as I thought there'd be in here, and then the 7. And then when I read the race stats, I was like, oh, I really, really like the 7 when almost half the time a long shot wins. But then, you know, I got the other long shots in as well. So, yeah, you can talk yourself into a bunch of different bets. I probably should have just stuck with my 5 with 5-7 and pressed it. But then where's the fun in that?
Let's see what you have again. You have 5 with 5-7 for $20. I
should have pressed it, you know, just made it my one bet versus doing all my little different bets. But at Del Mar,
I like your bet here. I just don't.
At Del Mar, these kinds of bets are what ended up getting me the nice wins. Was that, you know, the backup saver $5 double.
But here, yeah, but this is different. Remember, this is different. This is a high takeout $1. We're just doing this for fun because we're out of the leg. But here, let me ask you this: I'm not quite sure why you have spready with the 6 when the 5 and the 7 are your top choices. Why wouldn't you use those prices with those other horses? What is your reasoning there?
I just thought the 6, if it really messes up, and the reason I jumped on the 6 is because my 2 other long shots in this race scratched, so I wanted to find a long shot. And then when I started looking at She's a Swede, I was like, all right, you know, Hernandez is on here, and the only win this horse had was with this jockey, and this is a post that wins 21% of the time. So the stars aligned.
I'm not questioning the fact that you're using the 6. I'm questioning your strategy playing the double to the other horses. Like, why don't you have the 2, 3, 5, 7 with your 5 and 7?
I'm betting for chaos in both legs.
Okay.
On a small bet. And I don't want the bet to get, I'm probably spending more than I should just because we're probably doing the show. I probably would not be spending $80 on this double.
I agree. So my understanding is your logical combinations, you're playing for 20 and $10, and then you want to come back, and if chaos happens because the 6 is a price, if it comes 6-7, you're looking at like blowing it up, right?
Yes.
Is my understanding that? Okay.
Yes.
And you don't think
and then I decided, you know, well, I had 2 other long shots in the next race if I'm wrong on it. Like the 6 to the 2 is paying $89. This is for $1. The 6 to the 3 is paying $110.
Okay.
6 to the 7 is $181. 6 to the 5 is $47. So I'm still covering my bets.
Yeah, I'm surprised though that they're not that good actually. I thought they would be more.
The 6 to the 5 is a little shocking. Oh yeah.
I mean,
5 is absolutely the favorite in the last race. Is what I thought.
The 6 is 12-1 here. Don't you think those doubles should be paying more?
Yeah, but we're swimming with the robots. These doubles are a little shocking, to be honest.
Starting with a 12-1, and then the 7 is 20-1 in the next leg, and it's only paying $70, right? Am I right about that? Oh, wait,
Yep.
6. No, it's paying 150. I don't know. That just seems shockingly light to me. I don't know. There's
we've been
$27,000
here.
in the pool.
If you're on Horseplayer Twitter the last couple of weeks, some of the payouts on the trifectas on the East Coast have just been, there are a lot of people up in arms. I think the payouts, it's almost like the CAWs have gotten very, very greedy this summer around the country, because it's not like this is something that just popped up, but I think they're just hammering so many pools now that when some of these long shot combos come in and everyone's going, how is a 20-1 to a 20-1 paying like a 5-1? You know what I mean? It's like, how is that even possible? I know more and more people are now watching it. So
yeah, Kieran,
the flashlight's on the cockroaches.
we talked about that all summer long. And my point is, if you know that's happening, why bother? Just save your money and wait the next day and play your 15% low takeouts. You know, it just, I know we did it for fun on the show and we, hit a couple of trifectas, but they were underlays, even with our long shots. It was just, they don't pay what they're supposed to pay because the CRWs are manipulating the market. Let me go to the comments real quick. Terry giving us a little love. Let's go triple DTL. Oh, I guess the Cowgirls won. I mean, the Cowboys, sorry. Now I can pay attention. Cowboys and Aggies. Good for you. Texas strong. Did they cover, though? It was 6.5, I think. Terry, put the final score. I took the Cowboys minus 5.5 or 6.5. I got to find out. Anyway, okay.
I do not bet on sports because it's hard enough betting horses.
Yeah, I'm in a pool with a bunch of my friends. And they're all smart. They all follow everything, and I know who they're always on the smart side. So I'm gonna be on the dumb side and hope the public at least finishes at like 51%, and then I don't have to finish in last place. That's all I really care about. All right, let's see if anything's funny going on in the pool. Okay, the 7 is drifting up to 9-5. The 5 is holding steady at 2-1. 1 and 2 are 6-1. Where'd the money go? Because yes, it is. It was like 3-2. I don't know where the money went.
Well, so far there's only 46,000 bet into this race, which is
that's the win pool here on.
Huh?
That's the win pool.
Yeah, win pool only has 46,000 bet.
Yeah, that'll probably be 120 once the gates open. when all the bets come flooding in, the double pool is 33,000. That's pretty good. Like you said, everybody comes back and plays the double after getting whacked in the first leg. All right, what do we have?
The robots the computers are whirring away, calculating how they can sweep the pool here.
3 minutes to post. If anyone has any plays alive or is doing anything in this race, please let us know. We want the good energy. It's like the CRW machines are growing. I don't know if they're growing, but they're certainly getting smarter and smarter with their, adaptive learning.
And they know they have the tracks by the
right. That's what I mean. Like I think there's like 11 of them, and they're all in business with the racetracks. They probably signed a deal where like exclusivity, no more. You're not allowed any more teams. So they just have the market cornered and monopolized, and we have such an unfair disadvantage.
Well, even us in California, we don't even get rebates here.
No, we don't. We don't. Like, at least if we had something, you know what I mean? Like, but that's why we love these 15% low takeout pools. I can't wait for Santa Anita to start. The fall meet. I always love that fall meet. There's always good racing. All those stakes races that are preps for the Breeders' Cup. That's going to be great, Kieran. They added a $1.
Yeah, the coast to coast pick 6 is going to be a very interesting bet.
And they specifically said in their announcement, no CRWs are even allowed in the pool. Not even allowed. I think they're allowed in the pick 3 and the double, $5 double, but I don't think they play that as much as they would if the takeout were higher. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, I mean, look at some of the pays we had on the pick 3 at Del Mar, someone hit $11,000. I mean, there were some. I think the average was like $600 or $700 for the whole meet for that pick, or for the double. I mean.
All right, we have something real to root for here. Art Rodriguez is alive. He has the 5. He's alive in the pick 5, and he's singled to the 7. Okay, and we both like the 7. And then 1, 3, 5, 11 to end it. All right, let's get the 7 home. Let's get the 7 home for Art. Really good job getting to this point. Let's get you home here so you're alive for the pay leg. And that'll be a fun exercise, Kieran, because we could look at the, the will pays and the we could look at the will pays, we could look at the odds board, we could talk it through. Like if we were in Art's position, would we, I know you're not a hedge guy, but you got to see what the board gives you, right?
Yeah, and I mean, this horse blinkers off. Trainer's 33%, so they're doing everything they can for the 7 to win this one.
Yeah, I mean, I like the 7 when it was on turf. I mean, I'd have to think, tis the law. Well, I don't know about the dam side's probably all turf, but horses never run a bad race. I think the blinkers off is the big move. Here's Tony. Pick 6 races are too tough. That's fair. I'd rather the tracks give us no takeout bets. Well, you know what? I agree with you. So we're going to have the late pick. Santa Anita is going to have the $3 late pick 3 and the $5 late double at 15%. So
yep, just like at Del Mar. Yep.
Yeah, Tony, if you're not a pick 6 player, that's totally fine. I mean, I agree.
I'm not a pick 6. I don't like the pick 6 either. So,
but we're going to look at it. Yes. I mean, we might not do a show about it, but we're certainly going to look at it. But we will do a show because it's going to be the last 3 races at Santa Anita, so it'll be part of the pick 3.
Oh,
so that that'll be interesting for us to talk about.
Heads up, Frank, if we're going to do another Churchill one, you know how last week, opening week, it was on a Thursday?
Yeah.
This week is back to regular, so they're doing a show on our racing's Wednesday day.
Well, when is their twilight? I think the twilight is the best because a lot of the California
actually don't think they have a twilight. I think that was it, but maybe I'm wrong. I can go look here.
Well, we'll look at the schedule. We appreciate everyone joining us today. I know it's a football Sunday. That's probably what Dan H and Nappy Nick. No, we understood you, Tony. Here's what I think. I would be so happy. I'm thrilled about the low takeout pick 3. I'm thrilled about the low takeout double. I'm thrilled that they're cutting the CRWs and the win pool off at 2 minutes. The only other thing I would ask for is a 15% low takeout $1 pick 4. Even if it's the middle pick 4, I don't care. Just give us a $1 pick 4. The 50-cent pick 4 undervalues everything. Give us a $1 pick 4. I don't care what the sequence is. Here, yeah, my gaze football horse race on the front board.
Oh yeah, there is twilight. There is twilight on Thursday, Frank. So I guess Thursday for the next show.
Yeah. I think they're off here. Good luck. Come on, let's get this 7 home for Art.
Backstretch run. An opening quarter on the board in 23 and 2. It's a solid pace out there. Classic Appeal leads the way. Just more than a length. She's a speed prompting in second. Lookster in the clear. Up to a clear third now. And Necessity continues to draft in behind the leader down inside fourth and will save ground as they head toward the far turn. Yes, it is just in behind that second flight. Fifth and 3.5 lengths off the lead as they move to the turn. Then it's in Sorso, followed by Lady Blake. Quietly moves up outside. Sarah's Dream now trails. Round the far turn, Classic Appeal. Trying to ward off these challengers. Here comes Lookster 3 wide. Yes, it is. Comes on 4 wide. Necessity slips through underneath. Deft move there from Ortiz Jr. to grab the lead, but in the meantime,
wow, look at the 7 up the outside.
Up to grab the lead at the top of the stretch. And yes, it is. In front as they head for home.
Come on, for Art and for us, we have the 7-2 in our doubles. Come on.
Wow.
They sent in on this 5. This 5 is 6-5. I told you they were manipulating the market. Come on, 7. Oh my God! Come on, one final surge. There's going to be an inquiry.
Yeah, but all that bumping, you know they're going to give the call to IRAD. We got to see the head on. How
No.
bad are they? How are the stewards here?
I have no idea.
Because you know,
seven
if it
was
was in
Giroux.
California, they'd be calling their brother-in-law and asking what bets were live.
Kieran, can you believe the 5 got hammered? How much was in the win pool?
Oh, let's look that.
79,000. No, that's a double. Sorry. Let's see the win.
100,000 came in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, and look at the 5.
Yeah.
They were manipulating the pool. They wanted everybody to think the 7 was the overwhelming favorite. They liked the 5 better. And you know what?
Let's see the
The
head
7
on.
was better, but there's going to be an inquiry.
Oh, big time.
I feel so bad for you, Art. You're going to have to sweat.
And who's
this.
on the 7? Who's riding?
Giroux. But he's a
No,
Kentucky
he's not
guy.
bad, but Irad is, I mean, that's like Pratt, or Mike Smith.
No, but this is Churchill, though. It's not New York, He just
But
decided
it's like,
to move
the big guys always get the okay, we'll give it to you,
Yeah, but Giroux's considered a big guy in Kentucky. Irad is a carpetbagger. He's a New York guy. I want to see a head on. I mean, we know there was bumping, but
who came in and who came out?
Probably a little bit of both.
Minor objection.
Irad likes to race ride. I'm surprised Giroux outfinished Irad because
I know. I thought Irad, when they were at the 16th, I thought he was going to pull him ahead. Just jockey that horse over the line.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Giroux, but let's see. I got to blow this up. Oh, it looks like Irad's bumping too. They're both race riding. Do you see the split screen, Kieran? Can you see the head on?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, I'm trying to see if they even moved out of the path and who did the most moving.
They both did. I think Giroux started it. Well, no,
yeah, that's why. If they do take him down, they're going to say the 7 was the first one to come in.
Irad is leaning into the 7. This should be no change. That's dirty riding on Irad. Giroux's horse came in unintentionally. Everything Irad did was on purpose. Watch him leaning into the 7. Giroux's trying to keep a straight path. The horse is lugging in a little bit. Now they're bumping. And watch Irad. Watch, he's hits with the left, and the horse goes right into Giroux. If they take the 7 down, it'd be criminal.
I don't know how stewards do anything, but I mean, who knows? That should be a no change.
DTL Crew, what do you guys think?
That should be a no change. But
if I was betting on, they didn't cost anybody else a placing, but that's funny. They both fouled each other.
But if I was betting on steward inquiries, I'd have no money, because when they change, it's when I don't think, and when they do change,
I don't know how the stewards are now. I just remember that they really botched the maximum security thing. Remember the Derby? Yes, I know Irad is a Kentucky guy now. He moved his tack, but he just announced that he was going to be there. He was Jose was already there. He said he was going to go with his brother in Kentucky.
Plus, I mean, he's chasing the money, and Pratt just owns New York, and the races haven't been as good. Would you agree? In New York, they're just not the same anymore.
No, the Belmont. I mean, I know it's Aqueduct now, but the Belmont Fall Meet used to be one of my favorites. When I lived in New York, Pete and I would go out every weekend, every Saturday and Sunday. Such good racing. It's not the same anymore. I'm with you, Art, but you never know. Dan N, got to be a no change for sure. I'm with you. I wouldn't make a change, nor would I. I'm going to put my volume up so I can hear this.
Yeah, because I'm only alive to the 7 if the 7 stays up. The 5, I have some options.
Do you have the 5?
I've got a double. But I have more options if the 5 holds on in this race. The next race, I just have 7. But who knows?
Oh, right. You have the 5 and the 7 okay. I want the 7 to win for Art. We'll both be still alive. Pretty rich that Irad calls objection. Exactly. Giroux did not do anything intentional. He was riding, his horse lugged in and they made contact. But everything from that point forward, That was Irad leaning in, race riding.
And he probably just thought he started the contact. Whatever I do now, I'm in the clear.
I think you're right. I think that's what. Yes, exactly. He said, "I'm gonna foul him all the way to the wire to try to get the win because he fouled me first."
And he started my horse's chain reaction, and that's what he's telling the stewards right now. He came in on me first, and that's why I did what I did. He made my horse do what it was doing. If he hadn't have done that, blah 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 blah.
7's up. Yes, Art. Woo woo. I don't disagree with you, Josh, but I don't think what the 7 did initially, A, I don't think it was intentional, and B, I don't think it mattered all that much because the 5 stayed ahead the whole length of the stretch, and that's when Irad started race riding. All right, Art. Let's go. Let's see. I love this. Pretty rich that calls her Jetty. He pulls that crap all the time. Look, I know him and his brother Jose. They're very, very good riders. Oh wait, hold on. Let me mute this. But here's my stance on that. If Flavian Pratt had a brother, he'd never lose a race. That's my point. Like those guys tag team all the time. I'm not saying they're dirty riders, but they're old school race riders. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's how it used to be back in the days. I mean, there's so much you don't see anymore, but when you look at the old race replays, you're like, how did they get away with that stuff?
I know. They put you over the rail. I mean, they wouldn't let anybody through the rail. Now it's like, oh, here, let me roll out the red carpet piece. Yeah, Junior, that would be funny, but you know what? They're like, he's a carpetbagger, man. He's not one of us. Giroux and Cox are on this circuit. He comes to take our money, so they didn't put him up. I mean, I don't know if they factored that into the equation, but it's fun to talk about. All right, let's see. It was, yes, Travis Stone announced that there was no change. The objection was denied. It wasn't even an inquiry. I think it was just an objection.
Oh, so that, yeah. What's our rule? If the stewards don't call it first, they never want to admit they missed something.
Yeah, and they very rarely allow a trainer, owner, or jockey objection. They set up each other. Yeah, that was just, I mean, that was Frank, just Irad race riding.
We need this 7 to take it home for us.
All right, so here we are, Kieran. You have a $10 double, 7-7. We'll look at the will pays in a second. I have a $10 double. See, I had the 5. I had the 2, 5, and 7. So I'm just alive to the 7, and you're just alive to the 7.
Don't you forget you did an all bet?
Yeah, but I'm only using one horse in the last. But the favorite didn't win. The 5 was the favorite.
Yeah.
The CRWs were hiding money, manipulating the pool. Sneaky. All right, let me go back to Art Rodriguez, Kieran, and then we'll talk through this race. Well, I just want to see who Art's
drinks are on him.
Well, no, he got the single home, but now we got to see who he needs here. I'm looking. Okay, here's who. He does not have our 7, Kieran. 1, 3. All right, let's roll through this race here.
The $1 double to the 5 is paying $13. To the 7, it's paying $96
for a buck.
Yep.
And we have it multiple times though.
Yes, we do. We're looking at a stack if we can get this 7 home.
Let's roll through this race and analyze Art's picks and see what we think. He has the 1.
So he has the 1, and I actually had the 1 on my thing. Kentucky Smoke Show, 1 last out in June, but skipped works for a month, and that's usually a red flag for me. And then came back with some nice 48-second work. So, sometimes those lags in the workout report give me a little hesitation, and it's kind of a drop today. So they dropped off the win, but they're protected, if that makes sense. I mean, I don't know the levels. I mean, I've seen some forums that said they're moving up in class, but I think this is a slight drop and the horse is not risked. I think it was 80K 2L last time, and this is a 50 allowance. So I guess slight drop.
Here's the thing. I was handicapping this race and I'm going, excuse me, how is this horse eligible for a 50 starter? Because he's never run for 50,000. There's a condition in this race. What do we say, Kieran? Always read the condition.
Yes.
This is the sneaky one. California doesn't do this. So it's the typical starter, must have started for 50,000 or less, or who have broken their maiden in a maiden auction race. Go down to this horse's first race. You see that R, that restricted? That was probably restricted to horses who sold for 100,000 or less. But that's still better than a maiden claimer, right? So this horse has, based on this level, there is some class here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with you, though. I don't know if an 80 N2L is stronger than a 50 starter. I mean, I know it's a more expensive level, but it's also a conditional claimer where might have some starter horses here who, are pretty good.
And then I had his number 3 as a long shot, the Strahl. I think we talked about it earlier. The Asmussen horse, second off the claim. They claimed it back in December. Been in the bench since January, so some issues. But, the sun's back on, and they're not risking it for a claim. So, I mean, and trainer owns the horse too. That's always a big angle, you know what I mean? Especially when they're not risking. So, they're placed for the paycheck. So I'm not opposed to his number 3 either.
Yeah, I looked at that horse. I mean, the horse has had plenty of tries and hasn't been able to get it done. He's also been running mostly at a mile. But then again, you know what? That all those races were for Tom Amos. He only has one race with Asmussen. So this will be his second race, her second race for Asmussen off the January freshening. How good is he off this kind of a long layoff, Kieran?
Average 16%.
Okay. And how about this? The horse has been training on the synth at Turfway.
Yeah, that was the interesting thing. That's why I kind of moved away. So I didn't know, what to think of that.
I almost think that's like a conditioning thing. I think this horse is probably going to need one. I hope I'm wrong for art's sake. Okay, so then let's look at the 11 here.
I mean, Irad's other horse. Yeah, I mean,
we talked about that horse.
I mean, the trainer's 2 for 2 as of when I printed this form out, and Irad wins quarter of the time for this trainer. So I just thought, nothing much. My notes pretty much said Irad rides, and there's many times that's enough for me to bet a horse.
And Joe Sharp,
Pratt rides, Freshie rides. Okay,
correct,
I'm using.
Joe Sharp kind of owns this meet. I mean, I know he has limited starters, but he wins a lot of races. He's a guy who's not going to waste a call on Irad, but I don't know. The paper form just isn't that good to me. The race that this horse won, it was a 5-horse field. The horse made the lead on a speed-friendly track, and never had any competition. And then she comes back in a starter, which is similar level, and is up the track on the slop though. So maybe she didn't like the sealed track. Let's go back to our 7 here.
The greatest thing since
I don't usually come up with the same long shots as you, so I'm really interested. Let's look at this horse again.
All right, so career best race last out. So I mean, this horse is improving every race for the last 3.
Correct. Yeah.
I like to go back and look at. I don't spend a whole lot of time on it. I'll just glance at it where they'll show you like the Equibase speed figures for the last, and then the last 3 and the averages. And I really just glance at them to see if there's like improvement or steadiness and something like this. And this horse is showing that it's getting better and better. And that immediately got me interested.
On June 4th, she showed major improvement, and she's kept that form. She was 93-1. Yes. And she ran a good second. I'm just going to I'm not a big buyer speed guy, but I'm looking at the form. Her previous race was a 50. She jumped to a 70. And here's the thing. She's a 3-year-old filly. I'm looking at the form and I'm going, well, what changed? Did they make an equipment change? Jockey change? No, she's the same horse. She matured.
Yes.
These young horses can have growth spurts and go from, an average horse to a horse who's in very good form. And I can't explain the change other than that she matured.
And then sometimes we owned a horse, a 2-year-old, and she was fantastic at 2. Remember Comanche Country? We went to, the Kentucky Derby day with her. And then 3-year-old That was it. She was done racing.
Yeah, some of them don't
But
train
the
on.
opposite happens too. They just
Correct.
mature, and now they're ready to be. All right, it's my time.
Yeah. I remember that horse was so good at Del Mar. Remember, I
Yep.
think she won that big,
You see the back, the surfboard, the surfer girl stakes up at Santa Anita. The surfboard, greatest trophy I've ever gotten.
You want to take it down and show it, or I don't want to ruin it. But
Right there.
do that. Dude, that's even better. Oh my God, that is so cool.
The greatest. I mean, that's one of the best trophies I've seen them. For some of the races they give, unique ones out. I think that's the most unique one they have up at Santa Anita.
That is amazing. Santa Anita just does everything right. They're so classy.
And then it's hand signed, like it's a one of, like it's hand
it?
signed in the back by whoever. I'm not going to pull it down because if I pull that thing off, I'll jack it up. But whoever that's some famous
Billy and Gary.
Huh?
Excuse me. Who signed it? Billy and Gary?
Oh no, that whoever. It's like a surfboard pro,
it's whoever custom made it.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Oh man, yeah, dude, that is a work of art. That is incredible. So here, Kieran, let's talk about this because we have some time. John Balassi, thank you. Well, I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, correct me at some point. But John, thank you for joining us. I believe this is the first time you're asking a question and joining, and you have a good one. So Kieran, loved all your Del Mar shows. Can you please explain more about how the CRWs influence the odds other than dumping large sums on one horse? Thanks. I'll let you go first, and then I'll give my opinion based on what you say.
They have a computer program that's hooked up to the tote board, and their program runs every possible combination based on the money bet in and what the odds are. And their computer program tells them how to maximize how much money they're going to make in the race. They will make money no matter. They might bet 10,000 on the 1, 500 on the 2 at 50 to 1, and
Correct.
Adjust their odds. They keep throwing bets into the system to get their desired payout. And you go, well, they're going to lose, right? They have it set up where even if they do lose, the rebate that they get, which is probably 10% or more depending on the track. So say they gambled $100,000 into the pool, they get $10,000 back. So they really only have to make $91,000 to be profitable on the race. And that's why we have no chance.
And their program has it so they're basically setting the market. And they're all very good. They're usually all on the same horse. Occasionally they're fighting each other, right? But I have to think that the biggest one, there is one that is bigger than all the others, and I think that's the one that's Stronach owns 80% of. They're really setting the market. So in other words, they set the market exactly what Kieran said. They're looking to break even. I mean, obviously they want to make, if they hit something big, they make, but they really want to break even and just be happy with their 10%. And they're volume bettors. They might they might bet $1 million a day. I mean, I don't know. I know it's a significant amount of money, but here's the thing. These teams are making so much money, and they want to be in this game so badly. They're willing to give up 80% equity in their business. Stronach owns 80% of one of them, I believe, right? So you're giving up 80% of your equity. How much money are you making to say, okay, fine, we'll give you 80% of our profits. We'll just keep 20.
Yep. And they're still and who do you think's paying the rebates? You and me. We're funding the rebates, so our pays are a little bit lower, which is why these low takeout bets are our flag, our hill to die on. That's where we'll actually make our money.
And here's the other thing, John. This is not a new thing. I mean,
it's just gotten so bad, and I think in this outrage era that we live in, it's been so visible. I think we saw it at Del Mar where the odds changed opening weekend 3 times. And, it's not like we've not been saying this has been going on for years, but I think it was so visible on such a big meet that everyone went, whoa, what's going on here? And now we're just starting to hear it more and more and more.
Yeah. And that was the tournament weekend. And I had some friends in from Vegas who were super sharp sports bettors. There were other Vegas guys there who they're not dumb. These guys make their living betting sports. They come to Del Mar to have fun. Like that's their vacation. But they know something is wrong when they bet a horse at 5 to 1 and the horse goes off at 7 to 5. They're going, what? Like, how is this possible?
Well,
they're in the gate. The horse is 5 to 1. At the half mile, they flash the odds and it's 7-2.
When I got to go on TVG and I picked that long shot, and they finally let me tell the long shot at the post.
Yeah, it was
I think he was 22 to 1. He was 22 to 1, and then the horse wins. And I remember them going, "Oh, he's 10 to 1 now."
Here's Tony V. It absolutely is. It's insider trading. It's just, I mean, they're setting the market. We have no chance in pools that they're in.
I read an article.
I
read an article where they said they were just helping everything, and then we're like, "But you can fire 10,000 tickets into the system in the last minute. If I want to do that, I got to go hand type it in, and I can't do that. It takes 2 minutes to put a ticket in sometimes."
Right, and they can also take money off in an instant.
Yes,
that's why I was saying they manipulated the market. They wanted everybody to think that they wanted the 7 to look like the overwhelming favorite. So of course there's people who follow the money, right? So like, okay, well I'm going to bet the 7. Like, I'm going to use the 7, blah blah blah. And then at the last second, all of a sudden, the 5 is the overwhelming favorite. They wanted everybody to bet the 7. They took their money off the 7 and put it all on the 5. So there's that kind of stuff going on too. That's not a new thing. There's always been market manipulation at the racetrack, but you had to do it at the track, and it was not as simple. You would have to do what would usually happen is someone would place a large bet on a horse, and the horse would open it like 1 to 5, and everybody's going, "Why is this 5 to 1 on the morning line is 1 to 5? Oh my God, he can't lose. Smart money." Da, da, da. Everybody's bet. They cancel their money and they put it on someone else. I mean, that's happened, and it just happens more because they have instant access to the token.
In Texas, where they're their own little country, especially when it comes to horse racing, they don't let you cancel. I think it's $500. You can't cancel the bet. If you do a $500 win, you're in. You can't cancel it.
You can't cancel it all?
Nope. So they try to stop that large bet thing. I mean, there's ways to get around it. You just do $500 bets, but they make it where if you do a large bet, you can't cancel it.
Yeah, I think in Southern California, you can cancel up to $5,000 on track. I don't know about the ADWs. I've never bet $5,000 in a race, so I can't tell you that. Thank you for that question, John. I hope we answered it. If we didn't, just email me, scatoniracing@gmail.com, and I'm more than happy to continue this discussion offline. Tony V, show old school. I was at Del Mar when they built the OTB section back in the early 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Kieran and I had many lunches in the Saddle Club upstairs.
They actually did that renovation hoping that we would get sports gambling, and that was going to be the off-track betting for our Racino. But unfortunately, the online companies come in and kill that bill in California. I don't think we're ever going to see it.
That teletheater was very cool with the stadium seating. I didn't really hang out down there, but I would go down there and talk to some people. And then, I wasn't a member of the Saddle Club, but I was lucky enough to have some friends. So I was able to get in and have some nice lunches. The food was actually pretty good if you think about it. All right, let's get back to business here. Art, are you doing anything? Are you hedging? Are you scared of anyone? Are you sticking to your guns? Kieran, let's see what his pick 5s are paying. Right. You call up the Will Pays, and I'll go back to who he has.
For the pick 5?
Yeah, let's see what Art's
looking at. The one is paying 1,081.
Is that for $1 or 50 cents?
For $1. Oh, 50 cents.
Okay, that's good. The 3?
22.80.
The 5?
394.
394?
Yep.
11?
722.
Okay, so the lowest is 394 and the best is 2,200?
Yep. And the pick 4 into the 5 is paying $129. These are pretty low pays.
Let me see who the 5. That's Golden Irish, 6 to 5.
That's the one I was like, and the double's paying $13.82 to the 5. So
that's the Tom Amos horse. Yeah, let's see who is the favorite in the double will pay.
Oh, number 5 is favorite on every pool.
5 and the next highest is the 11.
Yep.
What is the 11 in the win pool here? What price? Let's see. The 11 is 6 to 1, so that's going to come in too. There's no way that horse should be 6 to 1.
That horse is going to absolutely come down.
Yeah, based on the will pays, and they're going to wait till the last minute.
Now, what are your thoughts on doing an exacta box, Frank? Our 5 with the 7.
I'm not interested, but I'll tell you what the plays are. It's not going to pay anything, right? Five,
Five to
seven.
the 7 is paying $38 for $1.
That's actually really good.
And
Oh, because that 7 is the price
7 to the
horse.
5 is paying $68. It's actually not bad.
It's not bad because I forgot that was the price horse.
Yep.
Let's see. Is that horse taking sneaky 15, 15, 44, 15, 59? That horse is taking a little bit of sneaky money there, Kieran.
Mm-hmm.
The 5-1 is $15. The 5-2 is $15. The 5-3 is $44. The 5-4 is $15. So they're even on the 1, 2, and 4. Then to the 6 is $22 and $39 to our horse. Interesting. And the 11 is $12. The 5-11 exact, and no surprise, is hammered. I think we'll get some drift on that 7, to be honest with you. I think they'll send it in on the ones who are continue to take money. But you see what I mean? Like, they're setting the market, right?
Yes.
Back in the day, how many times did you see exactas that paid the exact amount? $15.90, and then to the 1, and then to the 2, $15.96. That's all market setting.
And then, I mean, back in the day, you could almost just, even 15 minutes a post, the pays didn't drift that much. Now they're just all over the damn place.
Let's see, what is this here? Hi, boys. My pants are around my ankles, and I have tissues at the ready. Thanks for sharing that, Teddy. All right. He's thinking about hedging with the 4 and the 7, Kieran. Any suggestions? Hold on. First of all, he's only invested $30 in his pick 5.
Oh, well, why do you need to hedge much more? You're good to go. Maybe even just do versus.
Well, that's what I mean.
Why not just do a $15 win on the 7? You know what I mean? If you're worried about the 7
and the 4, what's the 4 at?
Moon over. Oh, that's the Phil D'Amato horse.
6-1. Yeah, I mean, he's invested $30. His lowest pay is 300 and something. I mean, I guess he could put another, $50 in the race. I mean, losing 80 as opposed to losing 30 isn't horrible, I suppose. But he's not going to make a ton of money if the 4 wins, right? How about this? How about exactas with those horses over your horses? It's riskier and you might not get it, but at least you'll have more money. You're looking at a better payout, right? I'm just talking this through. I don't know if that's a good strategy or not. We'll have to.
I'm usually not one to hedge too much, but the only reason I'm even thinking for myself an exacta box is because I really thought the 5 was, my solid favorite in here.
Thinking about hedging with the 4 and the 7. He only invested $30. I know, Kieran, you usually stand pat.
But I will say, looking at the 4, this is a Phil D'Amato horse, second off the layoff, and that's usually when it's the money ride for him.
All right, Art, I'm sorry we don't have more advice there. I would probably play the 4 and the 7 over the horses you like. And if somebody beats you, they beat you. You don't like those horses.
Yep.
And I think you can extract more value out of the exacta than you would betting those horses to win. Or maybe bet the 7 to win at 12-1 and then put the 4 over those horses in exactas. Because I think the 4's price is going to come in. All right, they're at the gate. If you do something, Art, let us know. But we're really rooting for the longest shot, which is, who is it, Kieran? One of them is paying $2,200, I think, right?
Yes.
Which one, the 3 or the 5? Yeah, okay. All right. I'm going to put Art's numbers up so we can root for him.
Yeah, the 3 is paying the most for him.
All right, let's get this 3. They're off. Good luck.
I think Mom ate all the cheesecake, Frank. But this one, maybe. Oh, 7 is beginning. Come on, have a rocket, mommy. You know what my notes? Oh, you're muted, Frank.
4 ran pretty good, all things considered. But
you know what my notes are going to be right now for the number 7? Massive upgrade with a different jockey. That jockey had that horse back every race too far. That's a horse that needs a new jockey.
Yeah, if you look at the last race, he was only 3 1/4 off, and he ran the best race of her life. Shouldn't have been that far back because they weren't going that fast.
That jockey,
but anyway, how about congratulations to Art? Hit the pick 5, a $30 investment, comes back. What'd you say, like 340 or something?
394.
Not bad, man. That's pretty good. That's a good day. Congratulations, Art, on the pick 5. That's good on the $30 investment, man. I'm very impressed by that. So good for you, Art. Your 1 ran a big race. Just that the 5 was too good. And look, the 5 went off at even money, Kieran.
Yep.
So they didn't send it in on the 11 like we thought. They sent it all in on the 5.
And where did the 11 didn't finish? 11 didn't finish anywhere, did it?
No, the 4 finished 3rd. I think it was 5-1-4. Yeah, did you see the 7? Our 7 made that middle move 8 wide and then just flattened out.
And I mean, and the key on that race was the jockey change. Issues at the gate the last 2 times on the 5. Voila. Decent jockey on it. And well, not that Davis is a bad jockey, but sometimes some horses just don't like certain jockeys, you know?
I mean, the horse ran fine with Dylan Davis. And like you said, Dylan Davis is not a bad jockey, but he's not in the top tier with the Ortizes and the Pratts. Would you agree?
Especially when you start seeing those notes recurring, like issue, bumped the gate, staggered at the gate, hit the gate, you know, bumped at the start.
Yeah, not today.
That's when you need a new jockey. And look, the jockey did the, did the job.
That's a very good point. No hedge. Good for you, Art. You stuck to your guns and you got more than 10-1 on your investment. I'd be curious, and you don't have to share if you don't want, but I'd be curious who you use in the previous legs. Because after this, I always go back, I look at the charts, I'll watch replays again, and I'd like to see your ticket structure for just $30. But if you don't want to share, that's fine too. Congratulations. All right. Let's wait for it to be official. Let's wait.
When's Santa Anita start, Frank?
Yeah, Kieran. You were good in the 2nd and 3rd legs, but
I just keep whiffing on that first leg, and even when I'm spreading them, I just can't get out of them.
You might have to go all.
And then I ended up screwing my bet up because I really liked the 5 in this last race, but
Yeah, let's go back and look at your double actually while waiting this to be official and see if there's something you could have done differently. Let's see. Yeah, why didn't you play a 7-5-7?
I should have
just played it with the 6 and the 5, but not the 7.
Yeah, I mean, what I should have done, and I think I said it when I did it, I was like, I probably should have just done a $50 double, or no, $25 double, 5-7 with 5-7.
Right. Yeah.
And
I mean, you still could have done your 6 with 2-3-5-7.
Yeah, and then I would have come out. What's that? What did I end up paying here? This double's paying.
It's probably not a lot, but
the double's paying $14 for $1, and I would have had it 25 times. So I mean, I would have made $300. It would have covered the pick 3.
Let's break this down. What was your logic in not using the 5 with the 7? Because you have the 5 with 5-7 and you have the 6 with 2-3-5-7.
My logic was I didn't plan this out ahead of time and did it.
Oh, that's true, because it was off the turf. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It was you had to call an audible. And
I whiffed. I mean, I had the winners. I had the winners. I just had them in the wrong way.
Yeah. Well, that's a lesson to be learned, I guess. I mean,
you know what I'm going to do for the next show, Frank? I'm going to do what I did at Del Mar. And what I did at Del Mar was I handicapped the late double and did my late double picks and then I went and did the pick 3. Maybe that might be the key to me versus me starting off. So that's my little tweak for myself, and see if that makes a difference when we come back on Thursday.
Yeah, because I guess if you have a strong opinion in the late double, that will give you more freedom in the first leg, right?
Which is why I did so well on those pick 3s, is because I had solid opinions in the late double, and now I'm going to it the opposite way. So I'm gonna
that's a really good point. Like
recreate the sausage.
Let me ask you this also, because I know a lot of really good tournament players who always start with the last race, and they go, "Is this a race that I can make a move on the leaderboard, or do I have to make plays early because of the last race?" Did you ever do that? Or
I handicap the last race first.
Yeah,
and then the first race with the same. Can I get ahead in the first race?
And can I close in the last?
And I usually, every time we play, especially when you're playing in the contest, I always need strong opinions late so I can chase you.
That's true, but it's not how fast you start, it's how strong you finish. We're going to sign off in a second, but Vicky Amaris, good for you. 24 bucks, hit the pick 4. Congratulations. Thank you for joining us. I think you might be a first timer here, so we appreciate you, and we're glad you made some money. Oh, here's her ticket. All with 4. She singled to 7 and 5. Nice. So she was spready early, strong opinions. Boom, boom. Did you hedge at all? Did you play any doubles or anything like that? Probably not, because she singled. I mean, that's a strong opinion. Congratulations, Vicky. Dave, and thanks for the good show, guys. Made a few bucks on the late double. See you next week. Congratulations. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We know Sundays are a little tough in the middle of the day with all the football. We will look at the Churchill schedule. I really want to do, if there's Twilight Racing, there is
on Thursday. I misread it. So yeah, there's Twilight Racing on Thursday.
Yeah,
that'll be what, 5:30, I think is from. Oh no, what was it? 4:00 on Thursday.
Yeah, it was like 4, which is perfect for me, because I should have been sleeping at this time. All right, Vicky, 128.53. Congratulations on a really small ticket. Good for you. Pepe, thank you for supporting us. You're here almost all the time, and we love having you. We appreciate you. See you next week. Kieran, what happens if you don't hit the $3 late pick 3?
We spend some more money on the late double, and then we go home in trouble.
You and I both go home in trouble because we were married to the 7 in the last race. You like the 5. You didn't play it correctly, but you have an excuse. You had to call an audible. But some of our listeners hit it, so good for you guys. Thursday. Sounds like a plan. All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We appreciate it. Good luck on all your football bets.